versus Floyd. Could it actually be? We are making the rounds alongside Brian Campbell. I am Jim Baskel. Dan Rayfield will join us in a moment. Floyd Mayweather Jr. says he's ready to fight Manny Pacquiao, even giving a date of May 2nd. But is he really? As always, there are stipulations. Brian, how genuine is Mayweather about really wanting this to work?
Jim, I've had more confidence in the past 3 months that this fight might happen than I've had in years. But listening to Floyd's words that he was interviewed during the Showtime broadcast last Friday, I lost a lot of that confidence. Look, that interview made some headlines. Floyd saying he wants Manny, but I think when you really peer through his words and pick them apart, it didn't make me feel like we're any closer from a negotiation sense. He comes out and he says he wants this fight to be on Showtime pay-per-view. Well, I think most would realize it would probably have to be a 2-network deal to make it work because of Pacquiao's exclusivity with HBO. Some other things, you know, bringing back up the drug testing, bringing up a lot of points. Look, we know that Floyd is the A-side. He's going to always be the A-side. Against Manny, he, of course, is the A-side. But Manny's no common any Joe B-side at any point. Absolutely. You're not going to get him a $5 million person, no cut of the pay-per-view. This guy's 1A, you know, if he's not A or 1B, whatever. I don't have any more confidence that we're going to see it this year or maybe even ever. Floyd's got to really, really show me with some action, not just words that he's serious.
Dan Rayfield, Mayweather claims Bob Arum is the bad guy here. Realistically, though, what concessions would Arum have to make in order to have this happen?
First of all, there are times in this whole saga where Bob, frankly, in my mind, has been the bad guy. At this exact moment in time, he's not. Remember, it's a fluid situation. So what happened 4 years ago or 2 years ago, it's not the same as what's going on today. I believe that Bob is giving his best effort to really try to make the fight. Now, he may be talking about it in public a little bit more than those involved would like him to, but I think behind the scenes he's trying to do it. So if Floyd is serious about it, and like Brian said, the words he said make you think it's not going to happen. If he really was serious, he should get on the phone with Les Moonves from CBS Showtime and try to work out his end of the deal and not go on Showtime and give interviews about, you know, all the things of why it can happen. So if you ask, what does Bob Arum have to do? Floyd would probably be happy if Bob would climb into a pit 10 feet deep and cover himself with dirt and not make a peep during the fight. He doesn't want him involved, but he doesn't get to make that call. He may get to say a lot of things about how this particular fight or deal or promotion would go. Who Manny Pacquiao picks as his promoter is not one of them. Manny is signed to Top Rank. He's pledged his loyalty to Top Rank a long time ago. They've been together for a long time. Bob Arum has paid Manny Pacquiao a tremendous amount of money, and for better or for worse, they're together right now, and that's just the way it is.
Both guys have to bend in some way to make this happen. It's as simple as that. You know, we've talked about this over and over again, Brian, with regards legacy for boxers, great boxers, Hall of Fame boxers, is so important. Regarding that legacy, how important is it for this fight, for Floyd's legacy, this fight to happen for that legacy?
Well, I love the passion, Jim, but it's absolutely important for Mayweather right now. You know, he's going to tell you it's not. Of course, he's already established himself as an all-time great. No one's questioning that. But that asterisk will not go away unless he steps in there against Manny Pacquiao, because Floyd has built his entire career from a marketing standpoint, from selling pay-per-views around the undefeated record, around the TBE on the hat, calling himself the best ever. Well, if you're the best ever, you will have cleaned out everyone possible in your division and in your era. And I think that what's playing against Floyd in this situation is, Jim, let's say the Manny Pacquiao fight was only good for about a year window. They didn't make it happen and it went away.
Right.
You would have said, okay, what would have been? It didn't work. Both guys were at fault. We're now 5.5 years into this.
Right.
They are number 1 and 2 on our pound-for-pound list. This is still the guy in his division, the guy in his era, talking about Pacquiao. And if you're Floyd, you got to step up and take him out, or that'll chase you for the rest of your life.
You know, when Manny was losing, and he lost twice, really realistically once, it was easy for Floyd to sweep him under the carpet, right?
No doubt.
But he's back now. He is back. He cannot ignore this anymore. Dan, if and when it ultimately happens, let's talk money. What would the pay-per-views look like, and what would the split look like regarding how much each fighter would take home from such a mega fight?
Well, it's the biggest fight in the history of boxing financially, whatever it ends up doing. I think it does $3 million with no problem. And like Brian said, the reason is because people have wanted to see the fight for so many years. They've been begging for it. And, you know, it is important for the legacy. I mean, if Floyd retires and never fights this guy, you know, I can see the article I'm going to write. It's going to say Floyd Mayweather, the former 5-division champion, longtime pound-for-pound king who never fought Manny Pacquiao, ... was elected to the Hall of Fame. He's going to the Hall of Fame, but he needs this fight. The people want to see it. The world wants to see it, and that's why it would be the biggest pay-per-view in the history of the sport. You know, my mother, who doesn't care about boxing one iota, you know, when she came to visit, a couple of weeks ago, she said, "Are they ever going to make that Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight?" I was shocked. I'm like, "Mom, you don't even know Floyd Mayweather's name?" So you ask about You know, the pay-per-view buys, $3 million. I mean, that seems conservative. The all-time record's 2.4-ish between Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya. I think this blows that away. The revenue, it's going to set the all-time gate record. The gate record right now is around $20 million for one of Mayweather's past fights. I think this fight, if you do it in the right place, could maybe reach $30 million. You're talking about the biggest international sales given the stature of these two fighters. It will be a massive, massive event. Now, how is the split going to go? If Floyd Mayweather had his way, it'd be like 99.5 to 1. Okay? Now, when they made a deal back in the end of 2009, early 2010 that cratered because of the drug testing situation that Mayweather still loves to rag Pacquiao about, even though he said like 2 years ago or whenever, I'm happy to take any test you want. They had agreed on a 50-50 split. I think we can all agree today it's not 50-50. Pacquiao's not asking for 50-50, and that's what Floyd can't get through his head. Pacquiao and Top Rank, they're willing to take much less. They understand that. But should he take 25%? No. It's really probably the reality, 65-35, something like that, maybe somewhere in between 60-40. But you have to make Pacquiao a partner. He brings as much to the table as Mayweather. He can't make nearly the money that he can against Pacquiao. And like we talked about, as Brian was saying, he needs it for his legacy. He can be undefeated, but if there's no Manny Pacquiao on their record, I'm not that impressed, and a lot of other people aren't. They'll be liking the fights he won, but you have to go by what he also didn't do, and that's to fight Manny Pacquiao.
Absolutely. Sometimes you respect a fighter more if he fights that tough fight, even if he loses. Even if
How many times have we seen that in history?
Oh,
the greats are always
Manny did say, hey, let's go 40-40 and the winner gets the other 20. How about that? That's fair.
Hey, I don't want to put a seed in anybody's head, but you could charge $100, $200 for this pay-per-view. It's still going to sell. Come on.
You got it right. Talking Floyd and Manny, hoping Mayweather means what he says. Make it happen. For Dan Rayfield and Brian Campbell, I am Jim Baskell. We are making the rounds right here on the boxing page of ESPN.com.